Did you know the first gathering dedicated to feminism and equality was in 1848? 200 years later, it's still a topic of controversy. Why? Why is empowering women so difficult? I am first and foremost a feminist. The information presented in my speech is from my years of research on feminism and gender roles, their history, and how we are conditioned. It takes only a simple examination of our society to realize there is a need for a serious social change. Most of the problems that plague us today in our society arise from gender roles and what is regarded as the norm, based on your gender forced upon us from birth. Unfortunately, the world we live in does not give room for personal individualism, and this is evident in the way children are raised and conditioned. Regardless of your gender and sexual orientation, we have been failed by our society. According to Planned Parenthood, gender roles in society means how we're expected to act, speak, dress, and groom, conduct ourselves based upon our assigned sex. Feminism eases the stereotype that is bound to the two genders society sees, men and women. These stereotypes that are heavily influenced by religion have caused so much social injustice and vices. It makes arbitrary rules that are then seen as norms, and anyone who negates them as social outcasts. Women have mostly been affected by gender norms. They have always been regarded as objects of a particular fantasy rather than people, are most of the time objectified sexually. This is the exact reason for the high rates of domestic abuse and homicides of women. According to an article based on the statistics of homicides committed by men against women posted on the PolitiFact forum, 2.54 women are killed by an intimate partner on average in the United States. Every 24 hours, more than 2 women are killed by somebody they are romantically involved with. This number does not aggregate women murdered for men's advances, which is a serious phenomenon. It is despicable the amount of lives lost because we see women as properties and not as people. Because we tell women they need a man and they are not confident in themselves. Rape culture is present and thriving in our society. Women are raped every day, but we concern ourselves daily more with the ones who lie about being raped. Despicable. An educative and informative article titled Myth About False Accusations discusses society's common misconceptions of rape. Only about 2% of rape and sexual assault related charges are determined to be false, the same amount as other felonies, FBI. The reason why the discussion around rape focuses on the false allegations rather than the actuality of the case is because of misogyny and men's entitlement. An entitled man believes a woman dressing provocatively is asking for it, and not just men, society as large. Per an analysis on rape culture titled The Criminal Justice Statistics, it says out of 1,000 rapes, 999 perpetrators will walk free. If this does not staple the fact that rape culture is prevalent, I don't know what will. We actively protect these rapists, failing women. Out of 310 cases reported to the police, only 6 rapists will be incarcerated. This reflects how misogyny is the norm in our judicial system. All these issues can be traced to colonialism. Why colonialism? It stripped the original culture of the people, enforced religion, and created the gender roles we see as norms today. In pre-colonial Africa and America, gender roles were non-existent and women were kings. Homosexuality and trans bodies were regarded as norms. Our society is now wired backwards and no one notices. Our condition runs so deep, people are unable to establish standing opinions without the influence of religion and culture. Patriarchy has ruled society for centuries, oppressing women and suppressing femininity, but people think this is okay because a book without credible sources written centuries ago says so. One of the major ways men are disadvantaged by gender roles is the expectation forced upon them from young. Boys are not given the room to show emotion and to express themselves transparently. Growing up knowing I was queer, but also feeling a deep state of confusion, I was always told you're a man. You can't behave the way you're behaving. My behavior had been dissected so much I lost myself. Of course, this manifests in multiple ways, but for many, they become misogynist. It's already a norm to believe women are lesser. Internalized misogyny is a thing. So of course, men picking up these habits is no shocker. Another important aspect to look at it through is the way non-conforming men are treated. Men do have privilege, and oftentimes this is used to oppress women, but antithesis is the case with feminine and trans males. According to a consumer fdn.org, the life expectancy for a trans woman of color is 31 in the United States. It depresses me. The hatred trans males face because they do not conform to society's expectation of men is tragic. People still intentionally disgender trans people for the fun of it. Feminism will put an end to societal vices that should have never existed in the first place. Gender dysphoria arises because of the heavy distinction between the two sexes. If you are male, you are automatically regarded as a man. If you are female, you are automatically regarded as a woman, despite the overwhelming amount of research stating sex and gender are distinct. In a society where gender roles don't exist, gender dysphoria would not exist. We are products of our society. We know what we are because society tells us so. Is it too late? Is it too late for us to see is it too late for us to see a change in society? Will men never let go of the privilege they're entitled to solely because of their genitalia? Because this is what makes a man a man. I believe so, but it will take some time. As people are fighting to make society equal, unburden the man, and empowering the woman, there are still people who enforce misogyny and gender norms. You are never doing too much by constantly talking about these issues. There are women worldwide who are not entitled to the same right constitutionally as men in 2018 because of colonialism. Countries like Nigeria, Sudan, United States even, Saudi Arabia, just to mention a few. Gender norms are the greatest ills of our society. Judging someone because they behave in a manner antithetical to how society wants us to behave is illogical. Regardless of how you feel about gender roles, they cause more harm than good to people who negate them. The removal of gender roles only ensures proper equality. To change our society and create equality, we must utilize feminism. Nothing else can work. We need more now than ever to break the gender roles and unreasonable expectations society forces upon us based on our sex. Rather than just assimilating under them, we should all be feminists because it is our task as leaders of the future to create an environment where individualism not only exists but thrives. Feminism is the key to solve all problems that plague our society, a key we've had for almost 200 years but still refuse to use effectively. Thank you.